Hello Super Sentai fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today, as you can see here, I have the original 2011 Mobirates and the 2012 Legend Mobirates with some Memorial Edition key sets that we've already taken a look at here on the channel. Now what I'm doing here today is basically something that I've actually had a couple of requests for, and I haven't personally seen. There probably is already a video of this out there, but basically when I was doing my really long review on the Gokaiger Memorial Edition a couple of weeks ago, basically I had noticed, and I'm sure that I wasn't the first to notice this, but the 2 Kaiser Ranger key registered as a Gokai Silver key in the Mobirates and Legend Mobirates respectively. And basically that kind of showed how when they added the extra notch to the key cuts, what they had done, or for the Memorial Edition ones, especially for this set here, the After Gokai one, what they basically did was took pre-existing Ranger keys and added an additional slot on them that when read in these phones still make them think that it's the original key that the cut was based off of, but when read in the Memorial Mobirates it knows that it's supposed to be a Shurikanger through Zenkaiger key. So today I'm going to go ahead and take basically all of these keys here from the After Gokai set, and I'm going to try all of them out in both versions of the Mobirates, and then we're going to figure out, based off of what they say, how they relate to the keys that are in this set, which of course are the 35 reds that would work exactly how they're supposed to in all 3 of the Mobirates. So let's go ahead and pop open this set from a couple of months ago, which is always nice to see again because I absolutely adore this set, since it's the first place we've gotten most of these Rangers as keys, and let's check out what they do in both Mobirates. Okay, so I've gotten the keys out of the trays here, or kind of gotten the tray out. So of course the first step will be turning these on. So there's the original Mobirates and the Legend. So of course the first key that was released in the After Gokai set was Go Busters, which was previously released many times, and in the original Mobirates it's obviously not going to know what it is. But in the Legend Mobirates it will know what it is, because Go Busters was programmed into this toy. So as I mentioned in my original review of this set back in April, the Red Buster key in this phone, obviously there was already a Go Buster sound programmed in, but it's a little bit unique. It kind of gives it a special Go Busters transformation in this one. And then in the Memorial Edition Mobirates, the Gokai Red, or the Go Busters Red key here, I don't know why I said Gokai Red, the Red Buster key registered as just like a Legend Sentai, like a normal Legend Sentai, because it was kind of special. Go Busters was at the time that this phone came out, because it was like the current Sentai at the time, and kind of a promotional focus of the Legend Mobirates was that it could read Go Busters, but by the time we got to the Memorial Edition, it was just the same as everybody else. So here is Kyoryu Red. So this is the first time we had a brand new key cut for one of these keys here. I do believe that they gave Kyoryu through Zenk, or they have given Kyoryu through Zenkaiger unique key cuts compared to the original releases of Kyoryu Red, Toku Ichigo, and Akaninja, which were the 3 Red Rangers besides Red Buster that were previously released before this set came out. But this is the first time that it will actually give Kyoryu a unique sound. So in the original Mobirates, it does this. So that makes sense. What I ended up using, and unfortunately I don't have that key here to show it off, but the Kyoryu Red key is actually using the Telebikun promotional Gosei Red key cut, which makes logical sense. Basically, Go Ranger, Shurikanger, and Goseiger all had Telebikun pack-in keys that had unique key cuts for some reason, but by the time we got I always want to say Memorial Edition Mobirates, and I kind of jumped to Mobirates, but the Memorial Edition Mobirates, of course, wouldn't need those, so it makes sense that they would have unique, or give those key locks away to the keys that actually needed new key cuts. So it's very similar to the key cut that the original Kyoryu key did anyway, although that one unlocked the Gashapon sound. So now we have Toku Ichigo, which is going to probably have a brand new key cut as well, or maybe use one of those Telebikun ones. So yes, Tokuger uses the Shinken Blue key cut from the Telebukun pack-in. So I'm going to speculate that they went in season order here, and that Aka-Ninja is probably going to have the Go Ranger one, maybe? Potentially? Who knows? I guess we're going to find out. Oh, wow. So this is going well. So I thought I would actually be able to compare the key cuts, and then two of them used keys I don't have up here with me right now, but I do have Shurikanger, so I'm going to have to go grab him in a second. And in the legend, he should also say Shurikanger. I just realized I had my finger on the speaker there, so I probably drowned that out, but let's go ahead and grab the Shurikanger key. So Shurikanger here actually is going to be getting a Memorial Edition key in that Anniversary and Dawn Brothers set this January, but this is the original deluxe version of him from Ranger Key Set 5, and as you can see, it is obviously a unique key cut because they have to make sure that it is for the Legend or for the Memorial Mobirates, but you can kind of see basically it's like one notch shorter than Shurikanger, so when you put it into the original Mobirates, it just thinks it is Shurikanger, but when you put it in the Memorial Edition, it has that extra reader button to know to that this little cut right there makes it Ninja instead of Shurikanger. Very, very fascinating. Now, obviously, you can also see that there's unique cuts there, because this one will make I think, green light in the Saber and Galleon Buster, or maybe a special light, because sometimes the 6 Rangers didn't always match up. And then this one has obviously the red cut for that. So very, very interesting. I think that's just really cool how they made that work. And it finally does kind of explain what they were talking about when they were talking about that whole notch system there. I never really got what they were going for with that, but now I totally do. So it's very fascinating to me. So here is Zyuohger, the first brand new key in this set, which still just looks absolutely gorgeous. And let's see what it does in the older toys. Gonna be honest, I have no idea which one that was, so I'm not sure if I actually have the original key that unlocked that sound. I don't even know what key did unlock that sound, but that is a sound that we didn't really need to have in the Memorial Mobirates, so it makes sense to make it Zyuohger's. A lot of special sounds from the original Mobirates did not translate over to Legend, and they just got their own generic sound there, so that's not super surprising. But that is what Zyuohger does. Next up we have Kyuranger. So there he is right there. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, I suppose. Alright, so Kyurangers came from Goggle 5. Now, one thing I'm kind of curious about is, and I'm sure it's a coincidence, but they did make Ninjas out of Shurikanger, so there's that ninja connection. I'm very curious if Bandai did anything kind of sneaky like that, but let's go ahead and grab Goggle 5. So here he is right there. So there is Goggle 5 from the Memorial 35 Red set, and we'll put Kyuranger on the top there. So yeah, as you can see, it's basically that notch right there. It's very fascinating to me that it knows that it's Goggle 5, even, how does it know that? That it's Goggle 5 even without that because on Goggle 5 it's just completely, no cuts on that part whatsoever. But on Kyuranger there's just one little cut right there. So I'm assuming that that little middle cut right there is basically the one that the older Mobirates can't read, and it just ignores it, while the Memorial Edition can, and it knows that this makes it Kyuranger other than Goggle 5, but yeah, very, very similar keys, cuts on that one, so that would make sense. Next up we have Lupin Ranger from Lupin Ranger vs. Pato Ranger. Oh no! Oh, Lupin Ranger got the O sound? Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, the Legend of Mobirates didn't have all the fun stuff. So the original version of the Mobirates had that Comrade O sound, and there was a Comrade O's Ranger key set. Unfortunately, even though that sound is canon, thanks to Superhero Tyson, that sound has been, as far as we can tell, removed from the Memorial Edition Mobirates. But I guess the key cut hasn't, so I don't have my O's keys up here, but Lupin Ranger comes from the O's key cut, obviously, I'm sure, with the addition of that. Which, you know what, probably, if I had to guess, looking at Goggle 5 here, I'd have to guess that this little notch right there is what makes it Goggle 5, because here it's filled in, but here it has the same notch as Q Ranger, which is cut out there, and that is not filled in, so it's probably Goggle 5 and O's probably have a very similar key kind of cut there. So, you know, it's very fascinating to me learning about this or kind of figuring this out. So here is Pato and Ichigo. I don't know what Gokaiger key unlocks that one. But there's a couple of like random special Ranger keys from Gokaiger, like the apparel ones that had a unique key cut, and like the ones that came with DS and Wii games. So I'm sure it's probably one of those ones. Oh, I didn't turn the key. Oh, okay, that makes me think it's the CD one actually, because Go Busters and Gokaiger each had a CD pack-in one, and there was a Red Buster key exclusive to that it would make sense for the Legend of Mobirates to know, and I guess it would make sense if I used that same key cut for Go. I think there actually is a Gokai Red and a Red Buster key that have the same key cut. I don't think I have either of those. I might have the Gokaiger one. They're on my list of stuff for Project Unlock episodes. I'm sure we'll get to that at some point, and I'm sure I will forget that that is what the Pod Ranger key cut was based off of, but that is fascinating to me. So next up we have Rue Soldier, Power Rangers Dino Fury. So that one is modeled after Jacka, which we'll take a look at in a second. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab Jacka. We're just sitting right down here in the 35 red set, so here's Spade Ace. We'll put Resoldier on the top. And yeah, so basically it's just adding that extra key notch cut from the Jacka key notch. It just extends it a little bit. So that's why Resoldier is registering as Jacka. So it's all making sense now. And next up we have, I almost said Q Ranger. This is not that. This is Kira Major. I don't know if there is a key that unlocks that sound. I can't think of one that just says Candy Toy. Very, very interesting. I know there's like a Gashapon special sound. Wow, I've never heard either one of these Mobirates make that sound before. That's very fascinating to me. I never thought Kira Major would be the one that could do it. So I don't know. I'm curious. I feel like I have a pretty good knowledge of, you know, Ranger keys that exist and the sounds that they make in Mobirates. I can't think of a key that does actually say can. I mean, I'm sure that there are hidden sounds that are in these two toys that we never got keys for. I mean, the Memorial Edition Mobirates has the same thing. There's Zenkaiger sounds and Dobutsu Sentai Go Buster sounds and Super Ranger sounds in the Memorial Edition Mobirates that we don't have keys for yet, we don't know if we ever will. But I don't know. I've never heard of a key that just makes it say Candy Toy, and I can't think of what key would do that. So very, very interesting that Kira Major is the one that unlocks that. And then lastly, we have Zenkaiser from Zenkaiger. So the 2 Kaiser key makes both of these phones say Gokaiger, which I'm not going to show off today. That is featured in my Memorial Edition Gokai Cellular review, which I'm very curious if that was intentional for the 2 Kaiser key to be based off of Gokai Silver. I feel like it kind of has to be, right? Like, it'd be a really interesting coincidence if it isn't. But here is Zenkaiser, and what it does. Alright, so we have Abaranger for the Zenkaiser key. So I'm very fascinated to learn, because the Memorial Edition Mobirates has 7 sounds for Zenkaiser, or for Zenkaiger specifically. So this key cut here that they gave to Zenkaiser makes it say Zenkaiger, and then makes it say the Zenkaiger roll call. However, there's also a sound, or there's also a key unlockable in there, which we don't have a way to unlock yet, in the Memorial Mobirates that basically says Zenkaiser after the roll call, and then there's one for Zenkaijuron, Gowon, Majin, and Vroon, and then there's the 2 Kaiser sound. So we don't actually have a key that makes the Memorial Edition Mobirates say Zenkaiser, but the one that they gave to the actual Zenkaiser key was Abaranger. So let's go ahead and grab Aba Red here. And as you can see, and I'm sure you probably already assumed, it's that middle notch that is obviously the new notch, just extending the Abaranger notch a little further. And there it is. And obviously, since this is a White Ranger key, there is no red cut right down there for the colors. And that is that. So very, very fascinating to me. I think this is really cool to check this out. And I mean, I'm sure I've had a lot of people ask me to do this ever since like April, but I didn't really have a spot until recently to where I had all my Mobirates here and had all the Memorial Edition keys here that I could do this. And the discovery with the 2 Kaiser key and Gokai Silver made me want to try this out and see what happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was somewhat interesting for you guys to figure out kind of where they got new key sounds for to give these post-Gokaiger teams actual purpose in the Memorial Edition Mobirates compared to the original way that they released Kyoryuger, Tokyuger, and Ninja as just all having the same key cut because they had no intention of giving you an updated phone that could do it. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR, and you can check out all of my reviews on the Memorial Edition stuff from Gokaiger and a ton of other Ranger Key videos here on the channel, and I will see you all next time.